With the runner boy, you niggas no question. You would run a motherfucker hot stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Yeah, buddy. You already know, man. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. All right. I just got some news. It's all right. Well, let's just get to it. Shemaine Callahan, Black Preacher Man's Bench in 205. Salute, man. Be that beesh. What up? Mr. Pads, Cass, Ratchet since 91. My brother Scotty, World Combat Sports in the building. He says, palm down, salute. At Drew Titan, fall in for another one. USMC all day. Salute to you and thank you for your service, brother. King Jr., Dwayne Jones, Jive Carrillo. I'm getting text. I'm sorry. I'm missing the family. I'm sorry. I'm getting text. Oh, boy. I just got word that Southern T Boxing salute. Unfortunately, Dominic Gwynn will not be able to attend today, but that's okay. Because, we just going to cook. We just going to freestyle it. I have a guest. Divinesenseboxing in the building. What's good, bro?
What's good, brother? Thanks for having me on, man.
No doubt, man. For those of you that don't know, this brother's been around on YouTube since, 2007, 2008. I followed his channel. He's a good dude. I like his channel. I listen. The guy is actually, you know what? You go ahead and tell the family.
Yeah. So like Drew said, man, I've been around since like 2008. Dropped one of my first vids talking about Mayweather. And if you guys been around since then, you guys know how it went down back then. It was wild. And I just always basically stayed in my lane, man. Speak from the heart, see what I see, talk about it. Don't give a fuck what people think. Excuse my language. And yeah, man. And so for me, my whole thing is on my channel. If you want to jump over, I break down a lot of fights. I'm all about the style. I'm all about the sweet science. I like to get into the nitty gritty. Every once in a while, I get pulled out of the weeds and have to talk about some dumb antics, like we'll probably get into today. And it gets a bit dramatic. It gets a bit emotional, but we got to do what we do.
No diggity doubt, man. The Sensei Stormy in the building. What's good, Sensei?
What's happening, man? Glad to be here this evening. Salute to everybody that's out there and salute to Divine. I'm ready to cook.
Yep, it's just as well. Unfortunately, Dominic Gwynn will not be joining us. Life happens. It's all good. Salute to the family in the building. I see y'all. You know what? We just gonna cook, man. This is gonna be an open cook, and we're gonna have some fun, man. So let's start. I'm saluting the family as y'all come into the building, man. Let's do this, man. Let's do this. I just put up a video. Yeah, let's just do it, man. Let's just do it. Forget it, man. I want y'all to look at this. Now, allegedly, that was taken about 9 hours ago on the other side of the planet. I don't know how old this picture is. I don't know this gentleman right here holding his son, the handsome young son right there. I don't know if that's his family behind him, but we see Tyson Fury there. He's in violation of the dress code, the human dress code, complete in violation. Who dresses this man? I don't know. But cocaine is a hell of a drug because there's nothing in there that matches and it's bad. But seriously, allegedly that was 9 hours ago. The gentleman right there on the left, I asked him on the post, when was this taken? And this has nothing to do with him. This is not a shot towards him because he's just a fan taking a picture with a famous athlete as he sees it. So never mind him. Never mind him. Fury's running around there with no mother effing mask. Okay? No mask. Now, Drew, masks, they don't stop the COVID. That's not the point. All right? People are dropping by the hundreds in Europe. This Delta strain that he allegedly beat. He's running around with no damn mask on. My thing is this. The fight is October 9th. You should be somewhere monitoring your surroundings and laser focused in on your judgment day. That's what it is. But he's out here at he's at a town fair with no mask on. Once again, do I need to remind y'all? I will. Who in this picture got COVID other than Tyson Fury? I don't know. I know it wasn't Sugar Hill. Frodo Baggins in the middle right there. His fat chitlin brother-in-law back there. You see Joseph Parker back there. Who in this picture has COVID other than Tyson Fury? I don't know. All right. But when he had COVID, he's at a car dealership. He's out and about at slot machines. All right. Did this man have really had COVID? I'm going to go ahead and say a hard no. A hard no. But now he's out and about with people instead of laser focused in on this $100 million payday that he's potentially going to make. So I raised the question, and I'm going to start with Divine Sense. Your thoughts on this?
Well, my first observation is that picture you put up. Does he got a Louis Vuitton belt on with fucking cargo shorts?
I don't know. It looks like
I don't. There's so much wrong with that picture, man. I don't like. It's just. And see, they think we make this stuff up. People literally think we make. They think we're being mean. We're bullying Tyson Fury. But to that, all that to the side, man. Because people dress, it's a free country. People can dress how they want to dress. Look, man, we've been preaching it. We've been talking about it. We've been chopping it up. For me, I always try to be as transparent as I possibly can. And I try to be the devil's advocate. I try to play both sides. I try to say, okay, well, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm not seeing it right. But as time goes on, it just becomes abundantly clear that this dude either one just simply doesn't care. He doesn't care what people think. He doesn't care about Deontay Wilder. He doesn't care about nothing. He's going to do what he wants to do because, let's be honest, he's going to get that pass regardless. Or number two, he's straight up scared. And all this antics and all this stuff that he's doing is just a front. He's just doing this to try and fool the boxing fans and try to gas himself up because he knows what's coming. He doesn't want to train. He doesn't want to take it serious. And I guess it could be a mixture of both, that he's scared and he doesn't care. But like you always say, Drew Titan, you can run, but you can't hide. I always tell my subscribers on my channel, man, the sky is black and the clouds are moving in. You can't run from it. It's coming. And I know a lot of people, you may want to touch on this. I know a lot of people think that he's going to try to get out of the fight. A lot of people are not confident that the October 9th date will actually happen. But I think it will happen just for the simple fact that he's got nowhere to go. And if he doesn't fight on October 9th, basically he has to retire. He has to vacate the title. Then the title will be up for grabs, right? And then if his idea is, well, I'll just come back out of retirement later and try to win a belt from Joshua, let's say. But by that time, if Joshua gets past Usyk, which I think he will, by that time, Joshua and Wilder will already be popping. So then you got an undisputed heavyweight champion. And he's going to be sitting in the backdrop like, oh, what about me? Well, what about you? You had a chance. So in my opinion, there's no benefit of him not taking the fight. He pretty much has to. Unless he's done with boxing, period. He's like, you know what? I'm good. That's the way I see it. And I get why people think he's going to duck the fight. I mean, his track record has shown that he's dishonest. He continues to fool the public, fool the boxing fans. And he, when people say that Tyson Fury's a clown, that's not necessarily a diss. A clown is someone who puts on a show. That's what a clown is. Put on the makeup, dance around, jump around, get people entertained. And that's what he does at press conferences. That's what he does when interviews. He's got the bravado. He's got this personality. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, he's cool, man. You see how he talks? Yeah, he's cool. That's a clown. That's what he does. Now, I'll give it to him. He can sell a fight. But people like us, we don't get fooled by that shit. We don't get fooled, man.
That's right.
And show up on October 9th. And like you said, Drew, like if you ain't training right now and you bouncing around with your Louis Vuitton belt and camouflage cargo pants or whatever the fuck you got going on there, and that's what you're trying to do with life right now. I don't know about you, Tyson Fury, but I know Deontay Wilder's in Alabama right now, every single day, outdoors, oxygen, vitamin D, and hitting those pads, working on that footwork, working on his defense, and he's dreaming about you. He's dreaming about knocking you out. So when the day comes, the dream's going to become a reality. He's going to dream about it so much that it's just going to flow. It's just he don't got to think about it anymore. He's already pictured every single possibility.
Hell yeah. Brother Snacks B says we'll be able to come back. He can't come back. From what I was told, the deal is fight or honor your contract or retire. And we know what he's going to try and do. He's going to try and retire and sit on the side and then come back and try and make a big fight. But I don't think he could do that. Stormy, your thoughts, brother?
Very minimum thoughts from me because we've already gone over what's at play here. You understand that this man has already shown his hand, yep. And this is more of what's coming. And what is coming is definitely not the third fight. This man is doing some things that are calculated. You point that he was wearing, right?
Yeah.
Let's not forget he planted seeds very early on about mental health.
Yes.
He's not going to go through with this third fight. His bargaining chip is going to be, and he has already laid the groundwork there. Listen to me carefully. When he's had success or when he's ridden in a positive place, he has these crashes where he goes from these highs to these lows.
Yes.
He's sought medical help. This is going to be his defense.
Yeah.
And so therefore, the argument will be that this man has taken counsel with professionals, mm-hmm. and that his argument should be that he still be allowed to fight, but he may need time to step away from the sport. Seeing him out in public, seeing these photographs, seeing his attire like he was dressed there. Mm-hmm. What grown man with all his faculties dresses like that? Okay. But it's not just that, because that's done by design. It's to make you have a reaction to it. You see? And when he goes back and says woefully, oh, I'm falling into depression again and this and that, you see, that's his built-in excuse, because he's planted those seeds even way before the first fight. He was campaigning for mental health, right? But he's been acting like a crazy person. Acting.
Yep.
Acting. The key point here. But if he sought counsel, that's going to be his defense countering the arbitrator. Okay? Because the arbitrator said, you have to fight this man by a certain date and time or retire. His argument is going to be in the courts with his professionals and that arbitrator. How can you take my living away from me when it will destroy me, my mental being and well-being? And I'm telling you, the man is crazy, but he's crazy like a fox. Don't forget what his nickname is. I've been watching and observing him. I've been listening to everyone's information, videos, all of this. But it goes back to what I said originally. This is the most expensive and public lesson for all of us, particularly Deontay Wilder, because you do not give energy to inanimate objects. You don't play with the dead. The man was out of the sport. He was going to be wherever he was going to be. And Deontay gave life to that. He resurrected a monster. And I don't say that in the sense of someone being scary, but someone who has now brought something into the sport that doesn't belong. We've already had our druthers in the sport of boxing, from promoters to fighters to judges, managers, all of this. We didn't need this type of thing to go along with all of that. But I'm here to tell you, pay attention, because people are hanging on to the threads of what he's doing by design. Why do you think there are so many people that are still Hunter off of Fight Hype saying that about, you know, the third fight and everything, and he was like, oh, I still roll with Fury, you know, he got that draw in the first fight and he got off the couch for that and this and that. It's like, now Michael Hunter is a professional fighter,
right?
But there has to be something that people can benefit from by showing this support or keeping mum about it. But I'm telling you, I'm not gonna be mum about it. Everything that I've just said, I bet you guys hadn't even thought that to that degree on this. But he's gonna use this, and there will be others who will be using similar tactics to make their way through professional sports and life itself, which is why I said it's an important lesson for all of us to pay attention, because these games that he's playing, there's millions of dollars involved in this.
Yeah.
And no one wants to be on the wrong side of history when things play out. That's what I got to say on it.
Well, no lies detected here at all. We're already seeing it. I saw this who's this young lady in MMA. She got COVID, but I saw something about her not quarantining at the appropriate. I think the brother Trick Nolte put it in his Instagram. Something about her with COVID, but everyone's getting COVID for some reason, but they're not quarantining for the sufficient amount of time. I mean, so we're already seeing a trend here. Teofimo Lopez, COVID, but you're popping up in Italy. And now when they're saying, yo, take your ass down to Australia and honor your contract, and he has a problem with that. So we're seeing a trend already. Like, oh, Deontay ain't get cheated. There's no glove gate. But everybody's checking gloves now. Right off the heels of that, Oshaki Foster caught his opponent trying to cheat him with gloves. So there's no cheating in boxing. And you see, this is what I tell people. Slow it down before you speed up. Ask them a simple question. Is there cheating in boxing? The first thing they're going to tell you, because I've tested this dozens of times already. Oh, but Deontay didn't get cheated, so there's cheating in boxing. It just didn't happen to Deontay that night. Got it. So if there's no cheating in boxing, and let a trainer tell you this, there's no cheating. Deontay get cheated that night. There's no cheating in boxing. Okay, the next fight you coach, don't send anybody to your opponent's locker room and see how he looks at you. What do you mean? No, there's no cheating in boxing. Send no one from your camp to your opponent's locker room because everybody operates off of 100% pure integrity because there's no cheating in boxing. Don't check your water. Don't check the gloves. Don't check the hand wraps. Just go in there and get it done. Right? Right. This is what we're dealing with here. This is the level of ignorance we're dealing with here. All right? I'm just showing you a picture. And I'm waiting for this fella because I don't know this fella. He's just a fan innocently taking a picture with an athlete that he saw. And I just asked him on his Instagram, when was this picture taken? Now I'm wondering if that picture gets removed. Because y'all know what happened with Joseph Parker. He was at the UFC event. Next thing you know, those pictures started flying off of his timeline. I'm like, what happened? I don't have COVID. Bob Arum said you did. So who else in Team Fury has COVID? Tyson Fury and who else? We heard it was the masseuse. No. We heard it was a chef. No. It wasn't Jarrell Miller. It wasn't Jared Anderson. It wasn't even F.A. Jagba. So who else had COVID? Andy Lee, answer your phone. I know what Andy Lee did say. Andy Lee recently said, hey, man, this time away from the ring is beneficial to Wilder. The writing is on the wall. These guys are telling us what it's the T word. I can't say, YouTube is funny about the T-rism, but it's the trism. It's the trism. Let's call it trism. You know how they tell us what they're going to do before they do it? Leading up to 9/11, there were various hints that they were going to do that. And the fact that they got it done was just our ignorance of not being, we were prepared. We just ignored it. We just ignored it. And that's why we got hit, ignoring it. And that's the only thing Deontay Wilder's guilty of, believing that this guy had a hint of integrity. That's what he's guilty of. Salute to Mr. Martin. That's super chat. Much love and appreciation, man. So my next question is, I'm going to start with you, Divine Sense. How confident are you that this guy shows up on October 9th?
Oh man, your boy Stormy just put some very interesting and compelling information out there. I'm still, I don't know, man. I'm still leaning towards it's going to happen. I did take note to what Stormy just said, though. Like I said, he just put some very valuable points out there, stuff that I haven't really thought about. I like his analogy, saying that he's a fox. Don't get it twisted. Tyson Fury knows what he's doing. This is all planned. This is all played out. I agree. And the funny thing for me is, I never had, when he first made the scene, when he beat Klitschko and everyone was like, "Oh my God, he beat Klitschko" and all this stuff. I didn't mind him. My first inclination was, this is a big dude who can move. I've never seen anything like that in a while. Somebody that big can move and jab and be slippery like the way he is. So that was my first impression. And then this is one thing that I want to hone in on here. And those who are, I'm seeing some people in the chat here that are subscribed to my channel as well. Shout out to you guys. Trick Boxing, Nitty G, a few others. Appreciate you. And I talk about this a lot on my channel. And I beg the question. And I send out a very humble reminder. Let's not forget, after the Klitschko fight, what happened to Tyson Fury. right? He went a downward spiral.
Mm-hmm.
Drug addict, alcoholic, contemplating suicide, ballooned up to, what was it, almost 400 pounds or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And he said on numerous occasions that I was in my car. I just wanted to drive off a bridge.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to live anymore. I was done. I'm the heavyweight champion of the world. I don't want to live no more. And what I always bring up, and Tyson Fury fans hate it, is who is the man who brought Tyson Fury out of the gutter? Who is the one who reached out with the hand and said, I got you, bro. It's all good. I'm going to give you another chance. This is your opportunity. And now Tyson Fury fans, they can't stop talking about what a glorious story that Tyson Fury has. The man recovered. The man bounced back. Look at what he did. It's an amazing boxing story from the Gypsy King. Came out of addiction. And I'm like, yeah, he did. He did. But how? What was the beginning? What was the genesis to this whole saga? It was Deontay Wilder himself that said, I'll give you a title shot. And let me remind people, he didn't have to fight Tyson Fury. He was the champ. He was the champ. He could have said, oh, that dude over there, man, I don't got time for that shit. Because he could have said, I don't even think he can come back. Even if he shows up in the ring, people will criticize me that I beat a guy who came back from addiction. And boxing history is replete with those examples. A man retires, he comes back, everybody's building him up. Yeah, he's going to recover. He's going to make a big comeback. And then he loses. Oh, man, but he wasn't the same.
Yeah.
And that's what they did in the first fight, right?
Yep.
They said, oh, yeah, but I think Tyson might have won that, actually. And they say, yo, like, how could you pick Deontay when he's when he's lost both fights? I said, excuse me? What were you watching? And the only reason why Deontay didn't basically win it convincingly was because he was too concerned about landing that right hand. Because in his mind, he's thinking, I only need to land one shot. I'm going to take my time. All I need to do is land one shot. Here's a jab. Okay. All I got to do is just line it up. And he did it, right? In the 12th round. Beautiful. Picture perfect. You can't write it up any better. Right hand down the pipe, follow up with a left hook. Good night. The man's eyes rolled in the back of his head. He was out. He was out. Now, I always say to my subscribers, it was the thunderbolt of Zeus himself that struck down on Tyson Fury. Is the only reason why he twitched, oh shit, and rolled over to his side and got up. Without that, he was knocked out. But going back to my point, I'm still waiting for an answer on why Tyson Fury's even in the position that he is in right now. And this is why I get so upset. I get so upset about this because Deontay Wilder not only didn't have to fight him in the first fight, Joshua, everyone else that was at the top at that time, they didn't want to fight Fury. Why? Because the man was not himself. It wasn't Tyson Fury. He was a shell of himself. They're like, we don't want to fight this dude. Nobody wanted to fight Tyson. Let me remind people, nobody wanted to fight Tyson Fury because the man was addicted to cocaine. He was an alcoholic, and he's 400 pounds. Deontay Wilder said, I'll take it. Now, people twist that. They say, oh, he cherry-picked him. They say, oh, Deontay fought him because he wasn't himself. Which one is it? Which one is it? Right? Then, let's talk about the rematch for a second. It was a draw. I tell people this. Look, we can talk about it all. We can go back and forth about who won the fight. It's a draw. At the end of the day, it's a draw. Deontay Wilder kept his belt. He's still the champ. So it don't matter. But all you got to do is give Deontay Wilder only 2 rounds extra from the 2 knockdowns. 2. If you give him 2 plus the knockdowns, that's a draw already. If you give him 3 rounds, that's a wrap. So Deontay only needed to win 3 out of basically plus the 2 knockdowns. And so it's a draw. And Tyson Fury's out beating his chest. Bomb, bomb, bomb. Yeah. Like, I beat him. I need a rematch. We got a rematch. We got to run it back. Deontay Wilder said, all right, cool. We can run it back. I'll knock you out again. This time I'll do it better. But let's be honest here. Deontay Wilder didn't need to rematch him. He didn't have to rematch him. It was a draw. He got the belt. He can say, I'm going to move on and do better things. I'm going to chase Joshua. I'm going to chase Dillian White. I'm going to fight Andrew Ruiz. Whatever. I need to rematch you. You give me a headache anyway. I'm tired of dealing with you. So we got the second fight. What happened? Tyson Fury won. So what happened? See, I told you so. I told you Tyson was better. Tyson beat him up bad. Beat him up real bad. So you see, we told you, Deontay Wilder fans, Deontay Wilder, he ain't nothing. He ain't got no boxing skill. All he's got is a right hand. But I always tell people, Deontay Wilder is an athlete first. He's always been an athlete first. Deontay Wilder could have done any sport he wanted to. He could have played football. He could have played basketball. He could have done anything he wanted to do. He chose boxing, or you can argue boxing chose him. Regardlessly, he went into boxing for the quickest way to take care of his family. More important, his daughter. But he is an athlete first. And what does that mean? Athletes have the ability, a true, naturally born athlete, not something you become an athlete over time. Born athlete. You have the ability to adapt, adjust, and do things that normal fighters can't do. So I don't want to hear none of this. It doesn't matter how hard he trains Malik Scott. It don't matter. He's going to resort back to what he knows best. Okay. We'll see. So, do I think the October 9th date will happen? I do. I just feel like there's just too much at stake, man. There's just too much mistake. And I get what Stormy's saying. Like, he can figure out a way to masquerade it and fool the public, fool the boxing fans that, like, bring up the whole health thing and all that. I get that, man. But will I be surprised if it doesn't happen? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I believe in, jinxing things, and I'm a very spiritual person. So I'm not going to speak it into existence. I'm going to say it's going to happen. I'm going to prepare my mind for that. I got my barbecue back here. I have that shit since July 24th. I haven't used it yet because I was robbed of it. Boxing fans were starved from July 24th. I got all that stuff ready. I didn't move it. Okay, October 9th. All right. But if it doesn't happen October 9th, you best believe it's going over the balcony. I give up.
I'm talking class action lawsuit, man. This is crazy. A salute to Judah Israel in that super chat. Much love and appreciation. Go ahead, Stormy.
Let me piggyback on what Divine Sense was saying here. And let me also make myself clear. I want the fight to happen. I want it July 24th, like, yesterday's pancakes. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The thing about it is, I've had a chance to make a bird's eye assessment of things, because when you're directly involved, sometimes you can be jaded by how things affect you, how things don't affect you, how things are inferred and things like this. But when you heard me say, and I know that you took that to heart, that I said he's crazy like a fox, that means a lot there, because think about it like this. And you said being spiritual. I'm going to attach something else to this. Mm-hmm. Cain and Abel, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Here he was trying to help a brother, a fellow boxer in the sport, come out of the doldrums. He tried, and he got stabbed in the back. His throat cut and left for dead. He wasn't dead, but he was left for dead. Okay? Now, the person that committed that act knows what he did and knows what he was doing when he was taking those actions. But he needed someone's blood, metaphorically, to thrive off of and gain life from, to do what he's doing and how he plans to go on. Now, the Deontay Wilder that was preparing for this third fight for July 24th, if he had gone into the rematch with this mindset, this dedication, this preparation, even if he had gone into the first fight with this, it would have been a foregone conclusion what the outcome would be. But it's a shame, and you heard me open with my remarks moments ago, that he had to be victimized like this for giving life to someone who was left on the pile. You see what I'm saying? And he has a sense of wanting to right wrongs plus gain revenge. He wants to avenge his mistakes. And the worst part of it all, the person that he wants to do this has that opportunity hanging in the balance. That can play with you. I don't care what nobody says. It will definitely, it would eat at you. That's why I said, I think it was last night, woe to whoever is the next man that gets in the ring with Deontay Wilder. Because that person is just as good as dead.
He's dead.
And it very well may not be Fury. But I'm telling you, all of these guys that are out there in that division that will have to line up and get in there with him, you don't want to be the first one. You don't. But this thing, metaphorically, is like a spiritual situation. And for those who aren't spiritual, that's your choice. But those who do understand that we do exist on planes, and the plane that you see before you just happens to be one dimension of existence. There is a such thing as karma. There is a such thing as, the universe.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And all Deontay has to do is remain focused and steadfast, and he will get. But notice this, and I know I'm going on, but I want to say this last point. He was the story, Deontay Wilder. His whole career, what he accomplished, why he got into the sport, as Divine touched on, and the purpose that he served, and even the legacy he was building as he was defending that title 10 times like champions before. Okay, in the history. The stuff that they make movies about is what he was doing. But ironically, he gives this guy a chance, and the guy steals all of that attention, all of that luster, all of that positivity with negativity, and that's promoted. That's put out on Front Street. Deontay has just been pushed to the side as if he was nothing.
Facts.
And look at it for what it's worth. You got people like Stephen A. saying stuff, step aside, bruh. This is how this works. Are you kidding me? This man, he deserves not only his obligation of his third fight, but he has been successful. It's not like he got, like just lost and beat down or this and that. It's like there were other things afoot, and people can clearly see that with hindsight being 2020. But it's amazing how this man, so when he said, I got his mojo in my pocket, that was very symbolic of something.
Yes.
Very telling.
Words
Words are very important.
Mm-hmm.
and it takes intelligence to be able to decipher these things. Maya Angelou said it best. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time.
That's right.
I'm done. I'm sorry.
That's right. No, it's all right. It's all right.
Love it.
Everything needs to be said, man. And I agree that wholeheartedly, man. When someone tells you who they are, when they show you who they are, believe them. Believe them. All right. Salute to my brother Trick Nolte in the building. He said, well, Wilder Dead for Fury is equivalent to getting your best friend a job where you work at, and somehow he becomes your boss and treats you like ish. Similar. You see, the thing is, no one wants to acknowledge what was done. And I'm glad Stormy brought that up. No one wants to acknowledge what happened. How do we get here? I mean, really look at the facts. How did we get here? All right. Understand why Tyson Fury has no boxing license to fight in his own country. All right. So even if this was something that, okay, the rematch should be taking place in the UK, we can't, even if there was no COVID, it was wide open, we'd still be here. You understand? He has no fighting license in his own country. Why is it that no one talks about how this guy was kicked out of the sport for 2 years? It wasn't because of depression. It was because of cocaine. It was because of drug use. It was because of him not being able to have the discipline to maintain a healthy lifestyle, a fighter's lifestyle, and him being addicted to a narcotic. I've shown it to you. And listen, I don't have to lie on Tyson Fury. The fact that this guy undermines authority, and he tells you who he is on a consistent basis. Why do you not believe him? Here's an example.
So there's been a few, but people take drugs, don't they, in boxing? They all take drugs, I'd say. All of them.
Really?
Yeah. I'd say they're all abusing performance enhancers or weight strippers or whatever they're going to do to take drugs. I think they all take drugs. All athletes.
Define all. Who's
Everybody.
well? Obviously, you're not talking about yourself, so.
This is not a joke, man. He's dead serious.
Wow.
He's dead serious. I mean, but when you play that to certain people, they'll be like, oh, well, he's just goofing around. You don't goof around like that. Because there was a situation involving marijuana, and Deontay Wilder's name came up, and they spent a day trying to drag his name through the mud over that, it was nothing. You want another situation? Yeah, I remember when Marcellus, they were talking about Marcellus he popped dirty and he got suspended because they saw on BoxRec that he was suspended. And then they took that and said, look, see, and then I was reading all these people on these blogs. You see, no guys that size should be hitting that hard. Everybody's on drugs and on steroids. I'm like, what are you talking about? 78 made a phone call. It was like, yo, I don't know. What are you talking about suspended? Newsflash. Certain fighters in certain states, whether you win or lose, they suspend your license for a certain amount of time so you don't get back in the ring. That's a rule. So I don't know where y'all got steroids from. But when you talk about drug use and Tyson Fury, I can tell you exactly where I get it from. I just showed you. I don't have to lie on this guy. I just have to point out what? The facts. Deontay Wilder couldn't have gotten poisoned. So let me ask you a question. Is water getting poisoned? Can that happen? Everyone will say, "Oh no, it doesn't happen. No, it doesn't happen. No, none of that stuff happens. It doesn't happen." Well, I'm the king of receipts, right? So water can't get poisoned. right? What's this? So water can't get poisoned, but he's refusing water. And that was after. That was after he won. All right? Water can't get poisoned, but this.
Don't drink no more water because there's none of that. I don't remember anything. It was all a blur. Don't drink no more water because there's none of that.
Don't drink no more water because there's none of that.
I've never seen anything like that ever. I've never seen a fighter refuse water. It looked like it was full too. Like it felt like
it was unopened.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But check out Shelly Finkel's reaction to it all.
Yeah.
Run it back, Drew,
Finkel.
so he can see Shelly Finkel's reaction.
Look at Shelly Finkel.
He's like, "What are you doing?"
Absolutely.
Come on.
What are you doing?
Do you guys really want to go to court with this? You guys really want to challenge me with this? You just want to say, listen. The term "just because" that ran out with my parents when I got a certain age. You can't just tell me just because. You got to give me an explanation. You telling me it can't happen. I'm showing you why I firmly believe it happened. Nobody can tell me anything different. Not even your man Sugar Hill. Why do you think the UK got so mad at me over having a conversation with the fella? It wasn't nasty. It wasn't vulgar. I didn't curse at him. Y'all got mad because he didn't have any educated response to shut me down. I asked questions he couldn't logically answer. That's not my fault. I gave him the opportunity to shut me down. He couldn't do it. Now, why do you think that's so? Why do you think that's so? Mauricio Suleiman, shout out to you. Cheating couldn't have happened, and people that are trying to take away from that historic night are just stupid. That's what Mauricio Suleiman said about us, the people that questioned the integrity of the whole situation. When he was in the barbershop, I said, Mauricio, who wrapped the hands? I don't know. Who put on the gloves? I don't know. Where are the gloves? I don't know. Well, they're in Sugar Hill's house. I had to tell him that. So if you can't tell me where the gloves are, who wrapped the hands, and who put the gloves on, why are you calling us stupid for thinking that there was foul play when you weren't there? But one of the things you did say, Mauricio, was cheating couldn't have taken place because I was in both locker rooms. I know for a fact you was not there. Remember who I talked to. I know for a fact you was not there. Oh, well, but JD's. Okay, JD's made a mistake. JD said it was okay. Guess what? Did Miguel Cotto fire his cornerman for missing Margarito cheating? And guess what? Margarito was about to get away with it again if Brother Nas ain't catch him. If Brother Nas ain't catch him, and Brother Nas took the product and showed the commission and said, hey, man, what is this? The commission told Nas what? It looks okay to me. What? He said, we gonna see. And what did we find out? There was some chemical in there to make it turn into a cast. So now that made me second think everything. Wait a minute. I never seen Miguel's face get bust up like that. Miguel's in Puerto Rico like, duh. That was my first loss. It ruined me. Miguel Cotto got it bad. First loss to Margarito. Second loss to Manny Pacquiao getting weight drained. He's a champion. He had to come in at 145. 2 losses on his record. Bob Arum's fault.
And salute to a trainer with the wherewithal like Nazim Richardson. May he rest in peace, and may we have someone with that type of wisdom in the sport to help protect fighters going forward. Because not only did he caught it with 2 different fighters. Remember B-Hop against Trinidad.
Yes. Yes.
He made them rewrap Trinidad's hands in that dressing room because they sneakily did it before he got somebody over there to see what was going on. And he was like, hey, if you don't do it, we ain't fighting. Even though we're in the stadium and people are sitting their butts in the stands, we're not going out there to fight until you guys take those gloves off and rewrap this man's hands with one of my reps out there to watch.
Yep.
Because Trinidad was doing the old trick of sticking the hand wraps in cold water.
In ice water. Yep.
Okay. Ice water, which makes the gauze and the tape and everything become just like a cast.
Yes.
You get in there and you're in the third, fourth round. Because usually the main event guys like that, they don't go on right away. So you could glove up in the dressing room, go to the bathroom and everything first, then glove up, and you be in there for a good 20 minutes. And that stuff might need about 35 minutes to congeal. Next thing you know, you gotta fight it. And go back and look at the fight with Trinidad and Vargas when he hits Vargas in the first round with that first big left hook, and the look on Francisco Vargas's face, Fernando Vargas's face, and he had a look like, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
So did William Joppy.
William Joppy, he don't remember the fight. William Joppy said, yo, I don't remember anything. But William Joppy and Fernando Vargas, having a good authority, they said, yo, if they ever see Felix personally, it's on site. That's how upset they are over that. That was cartoonish kind of knockouts.
And Vargas had to tell him and warn him about Trinidad and his hand wraps. He's like, yo, man, watch the hand wraps. And back then, at that time, Vargas didn't know what was up.
That's right.
And the guy told him, he's like, hey, man, they'll kill me if they found out that I told you this.
Yep. You see?
And y'all remember when everyone got upset at Leonard Ellerby and Mayweather when they spotted the gloves with Maidana?
Yes.
Yep. It was like, oh, come on, Mayweather. It's just Everlast. It's packaged. They're pulling it out of the package.
Listen,
I'm like, he might as well.
Who do you think schooled Mayweather? He had Floyd Sr. and Roger, two men who were around when a lot of the dirt was going down in the sport that they can share with him. And let's be honest here, Divine and Drew and chat. Things like that don't get spoken publicly.
That's right.
Because there's so much that could be brought down. They take you out before they let you run your mouth about these things. Right. So in private, Floyd knows all of this stuff. That's why he operated from a position of strength when he became economically capable, because he knows, and he kept himself safe, and he will be done with all his marbles for that reason.
That's right. We don't know how many people got cheated, but we do know that this is a dirty game, which is why commissions allegedly exist. Salute to Dewan Menzies. He says, what's good, Divine Sense? In that super chat. Yes, sir. Salute to the brother Anthony Bolton. He says, what Tyson Fury did to Deontay Wilder is like helping a homeless man get a job only for him to sabotage you so you would get fired. I mean, that's perfect.
Wow.
That's a perfect explanation, man. I mean, this is Jay Kitch, you know what? I think they did get AB. Because when listen, look at how McDonough hit him.
Don't forget this one. Evander came out recently and stated that things like that can happen. Something can happen to your water. He didn't say which fight it was, but he said something strange happened to him. And he said he had to pull himself out of it because he was like, I don't feel right. But he said once the fists start flying and everything, but you see, Evander operated on various levels anyway because of the character of himself. You understand? But you could possibly be wondering that Deontay was like, hey, what's wrong with me? Why am I? And we heard AJ saying, why am I feeling like this in the corner against Andy Ruiz in their first fight? The mics picked it right up. So listen, man, the wise have an ear to hear, an eye to see. Okay, right. It's like it don't go beyond you, and anyone who wants to reject that wants to mire themselves in ignorance, and that's fine. That's because everybody
Salute to the general in the building, 78 Sports TV. He says,
Oh shit.
Hashtag LDBC. What it do, Divine Sense back in here, long time no see. I told y'all, Divine Sense been around in the trenches for a minute. I told y'all. I told y'all. He
78
been around
was
here
good.
For a minute. There you go. Salute to my man, Dewan Menzies, back in that super chat. He said, this show is the truth. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. Much love and appreciation, man. All we doing here, all we want to do is talk boxing, uninterrupted, no trolling, none of that. This is our opinion. If you like it, great. If you don't, fine. You know, but you know, listen.
I wanna put something to bed real quick.
Go ahead.
Now that we're on these allegations and shit like that. Because I was on the Boxing Voice a couple of weeks ago, and they brought me on as a guest, and somehow the Deontay Wilder Fury conversation came up. I learned real quickly that nobody really wants to talk about Deontay Wilder over there. But and I was like the only one. I felt like in the panel and in the chat, everybody was against me. But you know, the question was brought up about the water being spiked, and one particular gentleman, I don't know if you guys know him. His name is Maestro. He's got his channel, and he was adamant and he was upset that Deontay Wilder threw Mark Breland under the bus. And, you know, he came out and said, you know, Deontay Wilder, you know, being a black man and whatnot, he's always, you know, promoting the idea of supporting the black community. But then he goes and throws another fellow black man under the bus, a Hall of Famer, a well-respected gentleman in the community. And he was going on and on and on and on and on about it. So then it came to me, and they're like, Divine, what do you think about that? I said, all I can say is this. The man didn't look right when he first stepped through the ropes before the bell even rang. He didn't look right. And when it comes to Mark Breland, look, what people have to understand, because I don't know, people may have their questions, because there's actually a lot of controversy on YouTube right now, still going on about Mark Breland. There are certain people that are very upset about what Deontay did to Mark Breland. So I want to set the record straight. People don't understand. First off, nobody knows what happens behind the scenes when it comes to a fighter and a trainer. What is said behind the scenes, the conversations that are had. Nobody knows that shit. That stuff stays in-house. And I'm a strength and conditioning coach for athletes. It's what I do for a living. And I've worked with fighters. I work with Muay Thai fighters, MMA fighters, and boxers. I've been in locker rooms. I've been back in the scenes, and every fighter is different. Every fighter is different when they approach a fight. And I've never been involved in a heavyweight title fight. Let's just put it there too. I got to put that out there. That's another level, obviously. But every fighter's different, right? I've heard fighters tell trainers when they're getting their hands wrapped, when they're getting oiled down, they're getting massaged, they're getting ready. And they say, if I don't look right, if you feel like I'm in trouble, like you can stop it. I trust your judgment. There are fighters who tell coaches that. But I've also heard a lot of fighters tell coaches, I don't care what's going on. I don't care what's going on. Don't stop the fight. If I feel like I can't continue, I'll take a knee. I'll quit on the stool. I'll stop myself. I'm in control. Don't stop the fight no matter what. A fighter and a trainer has to have that bond. They have to have that connection. They have to have that understanding. So people come on my chat and say, oh, so what? Mark Breland's just supposed to let him die? I said, no. First off, Deontay Wilder he was getting beat up. Let's be honest. He was getting hit. He was getting mauled, right? Mm-hmm. But he was still there. He was still mentally there, right? You can tell, like, he thought he believes in himself, even though he didn't have his legs, even though his ear was bleeding, even though he was getting hit behind the head multiple times and it wasn't checked, right? But he still believed in himself. So what I tell people is, because they say, okay, Divine, what if that's you? What if that was you and you see your fighter get beat up like that? I said, that's a fair question. But it all depends on the connection that you have with that fighter. What people have to understand is that when a fighter is a boxer, a fighter, MMA, Muay Thai, don't matter, a combat sport where you put your life on the line, everybody that's involved in your close-knit circle, because boxing fans don't matter, let's be honest. Within your circle of loved ones, your wife, your mother, your father, your kids, but maybe not your kids because they may be too young to understand, but the adults that are in your life that understand, they go into, they're walking the life with you. When you're training, when you're sweating, when you're sparring, when you're eating right, when you're sleeping good, when you're trying to train for a fight, and when you go into the fight, they're in there with you mentally. They accept the fact of who you are. They accept the fact that you're a warrior. They accept the fact that my husband, my son, my brother might go in there and he may get seriously injured. This is accepted. This is a modern day gladiator shit right here we talking about. Let's not get it twisted. Now, we protect people much more than the Roman gladiator days, obviously. But still, people die. And if I have a fighter that looks into my orbitals and says, yo, I can trust you, right? Hey, if something bad happens to my fighter, will I feel bad? Of course I would. But it's that code of honor. This is that man. We got that respect. We got that understanding. And for me, that goes a long way. I couldn't live with myself if I threw in the towel or I stopped the fight, because that man will hate me for life. That man will never speak to me again. Now, people say, well, he's still alive. Well, I have to live with that now. I have to live with that for the rest of my life now. And see, people don't think about that. It's convenient when it's Deontay Wilder because Tyson Fury won the fight. Right? Mark Breland basically gifted the victory to Tyson Fury. So what I tell people when it comes to the spiked water is that Deontay Wilder said clearly that he didn't feel right. He didn't feel right before he even stepped through the ropes. And when you take a loss like that, heavyweight champion of the world, you don't have your legs going into the fight, you feeling sick, and you lose that way in that type of fashion, when you've never felt like that, you've never lost like that, not even close, you're going to start trying to make sense of it, right? You have to. Okay, why did I feel like that? And then first it was the costume, you guys remember? And it was like, oh, it was too heavy. Maybe it weighed me down. And then he started thinking more. And people were coming to Deontay Wilder. Yo, check out this photo. Yo, check out this video. Yo, check this. Yo, check this. And he's like, what? What's this? Right? You're a fighter. These are people in your team, people you trust. And they're bringing you shit. You got to be okay. Okay. When Mark Breland, so they've been butting heads for a long time. They haven't been seeing eye to eye. Mark Breland said it himself. Oh, he's stubborn. He don't listen. We've been butting heads for a long time. So they went into So they went into that second fight with already some animosity.
Let me add to that and salute the Pac-Man Tay. He's in the building. Everyone go subscribe to the fastest growing boxing channel on YouTube, Pac-Man Tay. Tay Jones in the building. He said thank you. And he never warned Deontay about anything after Jay told him no 2 different times. Now, let me say this. I have it on good authority. First of all, let me ask everyone, because I know there's a lot of haters watching on the sidelines. You know, you got to be sub to me to comment. Okay, you got to be sub to me to comment. That's how I have it set up. So now here's the deal. Where did all this love for Mark Breland come from? Because for the last decade, y'all were talking about Deontay needs to fire Mark Breland because he's not learning anything new. So where did all this love for Mark Breland come from anyway? It's fake. It's fake. All right. So now Mark Breland, he loses, right? He loses with Deontay, right? He didn't fire him right away because then I remember that Sunday I'm in the gym. ESPN is on in the gym, and the rumor came out that he was fired. I'm like, I didn't hear that. Remember who I talked to? I didn't hear that he got fired. But it's ESPN, so here they go. Right? So Mark Breland, sometime down the road, eventually they sever ties. He runs to the ops in the UK. You remember that? And sat down, and they interviewed him, and then he starts completely throwing Deontay under the bus. He don't hit the bag. He doesn't run. He doesn't jump rope. And I'm like, lie, because I've seen video of him doing that. What was he just doing it for the Pat-Man said he was fired the night of. He was fired the night of.
Yo, and another question: Who throws a towel from a seated position? You gotta. I mean, he had to roll that shit up in a ball and like throw that in right from a. He didn't stand up. Most trainers will walk up to the corner, wave the towel.
Trainers that get up on the ring apron,
right,
and throw the towel right at the referee,
so the ref could see it. You see, here's the thing. It seems premeditated because he took his ass to the UK and he starts talking and bad-mouthing Deontay. I'm like, whoa, okay, I knew it was coming, right? But then here's the thing. He comes back to the US and says, they set me up. Who set you up? Oh, I told them I didn't want to talk about Deontay, and I talked about Deontay. Okay, well, when you got there, the moment they asked about Deontay, you should have told them, yo, look, I told you I didn't want to talk about that. That's number one. Number two, why else do you think that they gave you an all-expense trip to the UK to talk to you? You're not popping like that. What other champions have you produced, Mark? Absolutely. How about this, Mark? Man. You got fired. Who are you training right now, Mark? And this, I'm not taking shots at you, Mark. I'm asking a legitimate question. Mark Breland no longer works with the former heavyweight champion of the world with 10 title defenses going to the Hall of Fame. He tied Muhammad Ali's record for heavyweight defenses. Mark Breland, who are you working for right now? Because you're free to work with whoever you want to work with. You're popping now, right? Mark, who you working for now? That's what I'm asking. Did I disrespect you? No, I'm asking a question. Who you working for now, Mark? The answer's nobody. You're home, chilling. All right? You've been working with this man all this time. And I heard some videos came up with Mark Breland's son giving his 2 cents on the situation, which is expected. He's just a young man defending his dad, but he's also a 15, 16-year-old kid. And we all told the brothers, look, don't respond to him. He's a kid defending his father. Then I find out they don't really know who the kid is. So you've been around all this time. You don't bring your family around to meet the guy you're working with that you helped get to the heavyweight championship of the world. None of this is making sense, man.
Yo, didn't he like leave the fight after the first fight? Like,
bro,
he walked away
from the corner,
bro.
I was gonna bring that up, but Drew was cooking. But yeah, absolutely.
You know what? Let me read this super chat. Salute Dewan Menzies in the super chat again. He says, "Salute the Druth is dropping jewels right now. No doubt, fam. I'm on a job, and this is all information that's there that people that just don't like Deontay, they oversee it. We're not taking a crap on Mark Breland. We're just pointing out the obvious. If Mark Breland is this brilliant coach and y'all want to rip Deontay apart for getting rid of him and not being loyal, tell me who's working for him. Who's he working for now? People should be chopping at the bit. You remember Freddie Roach? People chop at the bits to get at him. You remember when Buddy McGirt was hot? Everyone ran out. Let me go get Buddy McGirt. Remember that? Every trainer. Let me go get Ronnie Shields. Let me go get Derek James. Reputable guys. Even Abel Sanchez at one point. Ain't nobody checking for Mark Breland. Am I lying? No. Show me the fighter that says, you know what, I'm gonna add Mark Breland to my stable, and I think he could bring me to a title contention. No, because for a decade, y'all was saying, yo, get Mark out of there. He's not helping this guy. He's not helping this guy with these wild punches. Now that he's gotten rid of him, all of a sudden, it's Wild as this villain. You know what? Cool. That's why he got the headphones on and he's not talking to y'all. That's why he's not talking to y'all. Dummies.
Oh, no, he's scared, though, they said.
What you got, Stormy? Go ahead.
No, man, you made some very valid points there, and he did walk away from the corner at the end of the first fight. Mark Breland did, and that was looked at that time as that was actually odd. I mean, you know, your fighter just finished fighting, and you're not there in the corner with him celebrating or whatever. You're actually walking away. What, you know? And then if I'm not mistaken, Tay is out there in the chat. He did something funny with the Ortiz fight too. Deontay knocked Ortiz out and people were celebrating the victory and everything, but Mark wasn't like in as a part of the thing. Now, Tay can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but he has shown his hand for a while that he wasn't on the same page with the fighter that he was supposed to be working with. And I say supposed to be because it appears to me now, hindsight being 2020, it wasn't that he wasn't bringing Wilder along and up to speed and getting better. Wilder was doing it with his natural ability, and the man wasn't doing his job. And Wilder was still having success because he was blessed like that.
Yep.
Sometimes you can have a guy. Akeem Olajuwon came to the University of Houston coming from Africa where he played soccer. Guy Lewis had to teach him how to dunk the basketball. You take it and you throw it in the hoop like this. You do, but after a year, he was the best guy in the country nearly. Similar circumstances, but different sports with the talent of the individual. Deontay could do things. If he couldn't box, he would not have medaled, in the Olympics.
Thank you.
He would not have medaled in the Olympics. Now, just imagine had he been given someone with that insight, like a Nazim Richardson or something, he could have been, oh my goodness, you know, to use his own words, you know, oh my goodness, what he could have been with someone like that. Because not only would that person be taking care of him in the proper sense, but he'd been giving him the jewels that been passed to him that tie you to the days of old and the way of understanding how boxing can work for you, and you can have longevity. You see what I'm saying? And longevity in boxing is important, but we're not talking about years. We're talking about your output. We're talking about you taking less damage and things of that nature. All of these injuries that Deontay was having with his arms and muscles and stuff like that possibly came, and Tay is out there, he could correct me again, because somebody wasn't assisting with just turn that punch over a little bit more, champ. You know, just you know, and throw it shorter. You don't have to wing it. You can throw it short because you can hurt yourself more than you hurt the opponent, even though you hit hard enough to hurt the opponent. But if you throw it with this proper technique, you'll get far better results than you're getting. I mean, I'm watching the man and I can see these things. Mark Breland was in the damn gym with him. What was he doing?
Even when you shadow box, right? You keep it short, you keep it tight. You don't fully extend. You hurt your elbow, hurt your shoulder. Keep everything tight. And let's be honest here. Just because you're a Hall of Fame fighter, great fighters, they don't always become great trainers. Just like basketball players, Hall of Fame players, great players, not always good coaches. Right? So we're not, like what Drew said, we're not here discrediting the man of what he's done as a boxer. what he's done for the sport. Nobody's discrediting that. But he was the coach of Deontay Wilder. And you guys remember the first fight with Bermain Servine?
Yeah.
You guys remember how everybody's saying, man, this guy can't box, man. I'm tired of this shit. All he does is just throw a right hand, throw a right hand. So what does he do? WBC title fight? Says, okay. He boxed for 12 rounds. He worked behind the jab for 12 rounds. And then what do people say? Man, he could have knocked him out and he didn't. I'm tired of this, man. This guy, it's like, okay. Then they rematch, cleans him out. Like knockout, like devastating knockout. His knees buckle. I mean, he was like laying on the ropes. You guys remember that?
Yeah. He did a yoga
Listen,
pose.
he hit him so hard in that fight, man. I'll never forget it. When he went down the first time and he got up and the ref was counting, he told the ref, he hit me in the back of the head. No, buddy, that punch came straight through your front guard on your chin and came out the back of your head, which made you think you got hit behind the head because he hit him so hard through his guard.
Yeah.
You know, it was like one of them Pai Mei specials when he was telling Beatrice to punch through the board and Kill Bill, and he hit Bermain Stavern through that. And he said, oh, he hit me in the back of the head. The ref was like, 7, 8, you okay?
Yo.
And he's a big boy, too.
Yo.
Bermain Stavine's a big boy, too.
Let me tell you something. I remember I fell off a moped. I was riding on a moped, and I don't know what I did, man. It did a wheelie. And all I know is that I did a wheelie, and I knew I was going to fall. But I felt like I blinked, and then I had like 5 people standing over me. Yo, you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. They was like, nah. You was laying here for like 5 minutes just staring. You might want to go to the hospital. I'm like, nah, I'm all right. They're like, no. It felt like a blink. I felt like I just fell off the bike, but I was laying there for like 4 or 5 minutes. I didn't know. I was unconscious. They said, yo, we was talking to you. You was one eye was going here, the other eye was going here. And I'm like, you all right? No. That was Bermain Stavern. He was in a yoga pose. All right. When you get hit so hard that you thought you got hit in the back of your head, that's a sad state of affairs, man. Salute to Anthony Bolston in that super chat. He said, I agree with you 100%, Stormy. I've seen video footage of Joel Embiid in the 8th grade not being able to dribble a basketball or do layups. Yeah, things change. Things change. All right. You got to remember, Michael Jordan got cut from his first team. Okay. Got cut from his first team. You would never think. Man. So what I was looking for on the other screen was I couldn't find it. I ain't gonna try and look for it now, but at the end of the first Fury fight, how Mark Breland just pimped off. There's video of it. He just pimped off after the announcement. It's like, what's wrong with you, dude? But this guy, you guys need to, decide what side of the fence you want to be on.
After an amazing 12th round. After an amazing 12th round.
It was an amazing 12th round. But people look to discredit. Oh, well, Fury got off the ground and he won the rest of the round. Yeah, just like the only rounds that he lost was the 2 he got knocked down in. Let me tell you something, man. If you watch that first fight, and the only rounds you could find to give Deontay are the 2 rounds that he knocked him down in, there's something wrong with you. I don't score fights by wagging your tongue and playing and taunting the crowd. You don't score a fight like that. You don't. Stop it. Stop. Just admit. Look, when discussing Deontay, come into the conversation by just saying, yo, look, I don't like the guy. Cool. So everything you say right now, 90% of it, I'm going to roll off my shoulders. You might make a point, but 99% of it, I'm just going to let it roll off my damn shoulder because I know you're going into the conversation biased. Now, everything that I talk about Tyson Fury, I guarantee you I could back it up with facts. Now, watch this. I don't care on what panel these cats go to. That's why I don't go to other panels. I don't go where I'm not wanted. I know what I know. Watch this. Is Tyson Fury a cheater? Yes or no? I'll ask him just like that. That's how I'll abuse y'all. Is Tyson Fury a cheater? Yes or no? No, but he cheat Deontay. How do you know? Were you there? I just played you video about Shane telling him not to drink the rest of the water. Why would he tell him that? Why would he deny a bottle of water? Why would he tell him that? Did Tyson Fury not have the detached thumb against Christian Hammer? Did Tyson Fury not switch gloves against John McDermott? I know. None of that has to do with what he did with Deontay Wilder, but nothing that he did in the past has anything to do with what happened with him and Deontay. Because when he fought Deontay Wilder, that was just straight up, straight and narrow, right? Really?
And Drew, what about that guy he fought early in his career that recently came out and said something about being poisoned in the night before the fight?
Oh man, what is his name?
He recently came out and admitted something about Tyson Fury's camp.
Oh, I'm gonna get you his name right now because I did a video on it.
Yeah.
His name, he's a Canadian dude. His name is, I'll get it for you in 2 seconds. Where is it? Nevin Pajkic. Nevin Pajkic. That's his name.
Yeah.
He said, yep, that's his name. Pajkic, whatever his name is. All right. He said he got poisoned the night before. He had diarrhea and everything. So this is not a mistake. And then his family's telling him, don't drink the water. So these same cats are saying it's impossible. Y'all just making excuses for him. It's not impossible. This guy knows how to cheat. He knew what to look for when he was fighting against Vladimir Klitschko. Oh, and by the way, he won a title, beat Klitschko. Did Klitschko get his rematch? We have reasonable cause to believe that this third fight might not happen. And I hate the fact that just has to be a reality. It might not happen.
Somebody go ask Roy Jones why he wouldn't go overseas and fight Henry Mosca and those guys over there when they were challenging him, and he wouldn't go over there. But now all of a sudden he's got a Russian citizenship and everything. Somebody need to sit Roy down and say, okay, spill the juice, Roy. Spill the juice.
Someone need to talk to Roy about that. And then I'll ask these same detractors right now. Does Tyson Fury have a boxing license in his own country right now? Right now as we speak? No. So you have to ask yourself, who are you justifying? You just hated Mark Breland last year. Now you love him? Tyson Fury is the picture-perfect gentleman in the perfect story, but has no boxing license in his own country because why again?
And referee Ed Cotton, RIP to him. What did he say about Tyson Fury when asked?
Tyson Fury is the dirtiest fighter I've ever had to officiate, and I had Gallardo twice. That's what he said. And y'all know about Andrew Gallardo. Okay? So stop it. I have facts to support what I'm saying. Y'all have emotion. Y'all have emotion. It's just because it didn't happen because Wilder has no skill. Just because. All right, check this out. It's August mother effing 1st. We should either be talking about what happened last week in a positive note or a negative note. Instead, we gotta wait till October.
Facts.
Tell me why. And this guy's still running around in the UK right now with no mask on. Steve Cunningham. That's right, Antonio. Steve Cunningham said he was a dirt. Man, I was at that fight. All right? Now, let me pull this up. One of the family.
Cotton was the referee of that fight, if I'm not mistaken.
He was.
Yeah.
He was. Cotton was a referee. Now, let me pull this up.
Yeah, while you're pulling that up, let me just say something real quick to make it clear. Because some people, what I was saying earlier about, working in corners with fighters, and someone asked me a couple of days ago, if somebody accused you of spiking water, what would you do? What would you say? I said, well, first off, I'll go to the fighter. And I say, yo, why are you saying that? If I'm truly innocent and he's trying to use me as an excuse for losing the fight, I think my trainer sparked my water. I would go to him and say, hey, look, I understand you went through a loss and whatnot. You're going through some emotions, but you got to clear my name, bro. If you don't clear my name, then we're going to have problems. And if he says to you, man, F you, like, I know you did it, I'm taking him to court. Simple as that. Defamation of character. Mark Breland didn't do that. As a matter of fact, when he was asked about the water, what did he say? I don't handle the water. That's the only thing he said. I don't handle the water.
He said, I don't handle the water.
But we see him on video
giving
handling water.
Deontay Wilder, giving him the water. Now, what you're looking at right here, this is the fella that took the picture. This is his Instagram. And I don't mean to make a movie star of this guy. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of the situation. Apparently, this fair, wherever it is, this was 8 weeks ago prior. All right. This is where he allegedly ran into Tyson Fury today. I mean, I've gone to the same park in under a month or two's time. Okay. So apparently, I don't know, that park is open. You know, the weather's nice, cool in the gang.
Where's that at again? Where's that park?
UK. I don't know the name of it.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't say.
I do want to say this though, Drew, just because it may come at you later. You may not know. Play devil's advocate here. But the UK is operating a little bit differently than the US right now when it comes to COVID.
Yeah.
They basically said, like, you know, everybody, like 80% of the population is vaccinated, so we're gonna get on with it. I got a lot of friends in the UK.
Right.
So I'm just saying that because that's what they're gonna tell you. They're gonna say, "Oh, COVID's not a big deal in the UK."
No doubt. That's why I'm just asking the question. This is the gentleman's. And again, this is no shot to him. He was just a fan and said, you know, like he's just a normal guy. Oh, yo, yeah, you dunk a basketball, you play soccer, you're a boxer. Yo, let me take a picture. So I understand. This isn't no shot towards him personally. This just popped up on his timeline. Someone brought it to my attention, and boom, here it is. And I asked him. I said, "Is this a recent pick, my friend?" I just asked him 2 hours ago. So I don't know if this is a recent. I'm waiting for him, but it looks pretty recent because this is the exact shape he left the United States looking like, and he's over there now. And my thing is, he's not masked up once again. Now they're relaxed over there, but it's also spiking over there. It's also spiking. So they my concern was September. We're supposed to get Usyk versus AJ. It might not happen. Who knows what's going to happen in the next 30, 35, 40 days? Who knows what's going to happen?
Right.
You know, it could spike, and they say, look, man, we got to shut this damn thing down because the strain done, the virus done took a detour. It's trying to survive. It's turning, and the vaccine that we have now can't combat this. So we got to shut down again. And he knows this. My point is, he should know better because you stopped the fight the first time because you caught COVID. Right. And now you're running around in your country where it's spiking and you're not exercising the proper precaution again, which is why I have no faith that this fight is going to even happen, man. And I hate to even say that. I hate that. This is ridiculous. This is irresponsible behavior from the WBC champion. And speaking of the WBC, let me get on them for a minute. How fast did Mauricio Suleiman call us stupid when? Hold on a minute. You know what I'm about to say, right? Don't do that. Don't do that. That right there, don't do that. Don't do that. Change your name, change your picture. Don't do that. That is crazy disrespectful. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Don't do that. That's not even funny, man. I've seen you before. But don't do that. Don't do that. Anyway. Yeah, Raw Sportsman Lee. I firmly believe he's in the UK trying to cycle on a peg. He's going to cycle off sometime in September. so it won't be in his system in October. But they got something for that. And what's going to happen is when he pops dirty for whatever PED that he has, he's going to say, well, look, here's what happened. I was using this to heal fast because I had elbow surgery. What's elbow surgery? Oh, yeah, according to Tate Jones, he had elbow surgery. Ain't no one called Tay a liar yet. It's been about a week. Tyson Fury had elbow surgery. I'm putting it out there. Tate Jones said he had elbow surgery. I believe him. I believe him. I think the man had elbow surgery. And when he pops dirty, he's going to say, I was on this steroid so my elbow could heal up. Can I get another extension? That's what he's going to do. Similar to, and look, I got so much love for James Toney. But listen, man, James Toney schooled John Ruiz. He schooled John Ruiz. And I enjoyed watching that fight. It was a boxing lesson. Here's the thing. He popped dirty at the end of the fight. And if you look on his box rec, it says no contest. They changed it to a no contest. And that upset me because I did not like John Ruiz at that time in the heavyweight division. There's nothing. I don't know John Ruiz personally. I just thought I didn't like his style. It was a 1-2 rugged, and then I rub your beer on the cut on your eye. Didn't like John Ruiz as a fighter. There it is. And nobody has challenged him. Nobody has challenged Tay on that. So I'm going to echo it. Tyson Fury had elbow surgery. I'm waiting for everybody to say it's not true. And here's what I think is going to happen. He's going to pop dirty. And this is just me thinking. I'm not saying this 100%, but don't be surprised if he pops dirty and says, no, I had surgery on my elbow and I was taking this PED, this steroid, to speed up the process of me healing. Because that's what James Toney did to John Ruiz. I think he had a rotator cuff injury, and he was taking something that was on the ban list. And then John Ruiz they tried to sue him, but they had to go back where it was a win. They had to go back and rule it a no contest. Look it up. Look it up. It happened. That happened. And it pained me to say it, but here we are again. This dude is in another country. All right. The country he has no fighting license in. Can UCAD get to him? Don't know. Can USADA Avada get to him? Don't know. But he's going to do what he's going to do over there. Then when he comes back here, magically, his stomach ain't going to look like a woman that gave birth to 6 kids. You know, his stomach like a shriveled up prune. It ain't going to look like that. He's going to come back with a 6-pack. And we're going to be like, well, how the hell did that happen? How'd that happen? Huh. Okay. They're going to test him. They're going to find something wrong. And he's going to say, well, I had surgery. You had surgery? Yeah, I had surgery. And the ped that I was on or the steroid that I was on was just to heal my elbow because I wanted to get in there and beat the dozer. I'm telling you. But Tay said he had surgery. Where's everybody on Twitter and BoxRec or anybody else calling him a liar? It's been a week. It's been a week. No one said anything. Why do I think he had surgery? Why do I believe Tay Jones? Why do I believe it? Where's this picture at? Did I remove it? I think I removed it. I'll find it again. Why do I believe it? Where is that? F it. I don't feel like looking for it right now. I got something funnier though. I'll see if that'll upload. Oh, this is hilarious. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. I'm gonna do something with that. Yeah. Yeah.
That's one of the best right there.
He's snorting mountains. Yeah.
I'll be damned.
I ain't got to lie on this guy. Come on now.
That's good stuff there.
I'm gonna echo it. Fury had surgery on his elbow. Tell me I'm lying. Come on, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's right. Too much. He's showing fake workout videos. You can't even see the plates on the bar.
You saw his Instagram doing the deadlift?
Bro. Yes, I saw that.
Speak on it.
Bro. He's on Instagram. Matter of fact, let me go to his Instagram. I don't
Yeah. Pull that up.
Gypsy Queen.
You want to go to war with me? Okay.
All right. I'm on his. Let's share it right now. I'm on his. This is Instagram.
His
right.
95 pound deadlift.
Where is that?
It's up to the top. It's recent.
Is this his joint?
Oh,
right?
maybe it's Twitter.
Twitter? Oh, I don't have Twitter.
Oh, maybe he took it down though, because I thought it was on Instagram.
He like taking stuff down. See, this is my favorite right here. You see this right here? This is winning him around, by the way, in a lot of people's eyes. This right here. This right here. But what do we know? What do we know about this ass hat right here? What do we know? All right, he won that fight. He was supposed to run that back, and this happened.
Hi guys, as you already know, October 29th revenge against Fury is cancelled due to whatever issue this time Fury has. Screw it, I will move forward and I will keep you posted when and against whom my next fight is going to be staged. I will rely on information from the sanctioning bodies, how they will move on with the titles that currently Fury has. I will keep you posted.
That fight.
He said, due to whatever, this time in Fury's. Dude, and that was years ago. That was years ago.
Yep.
Due to whatever problem he says he has this time.
He said that with an attitude. That was with an attitude.
Devon, didn't he sound annoyed with this?
Oh,
Yes,
for sure.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Come on
for sure.
now. Come on, this guy, man. Yo, it's like it's what the hell's going on over there? And I got something for Dillian White, man. Look, man, it's not looking good, man. It's not looking good, man. There were a few fighters over there that I actually looked and I said, you know, this guy right here, he can turn some heads if he can get it together. And they just never got it together. David Hayes, one of them. He just never got it together.
Yep.
Never did. There was a market here for him. AJ, there was a market here for him too. He just never got it together. He came over here and got whacked around. But he said, Stormy, I referred people to that video. Remember we did that video? And right over AJ's head, he said, why do I feel this way? And remember, I told you, I know someone, da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, wow. Wow, it all makes sense. By the way, Eddie, how's that AJ versus Fury negotiation going?
Next week, mate. Next week.
Still
How
waiting.
about those T-shirts, Drew?
Oh, yeah, let's go about. Yeah, I want to ask, because, you know, they're on the sidelines hating on me right now. I want to know from the Fury fans and all of you clowns, where's that? Did y'all purchase any of this stuff? Did y'all purchase any of this stuff? A framed Tyson Fury Anthony Joshua hand-signed official replica fight boxing shorts and gloves. Look at the price on that.
What?
Look at that. I want to know who bought that. Before you get mad at me, I want to know, did you make a purchase?
What is going on out there?
Bro, who bought this stuff? I just want to know. I'm asking. These are real questions. This guy sold you the T-shirts and all this stuff. Did you buy? Because what I'm saying is this is fraud. If I was that much of a fan, a supporter, that I bought all the gloves, the shorts, the T-shirts, and I said, yes, I'm getting this UK unification, and I'm about that life, and I love my people, and I love my guys. I just want to see Undisputed with UK guys. And then this crap happens. And then the fight
Drew, that's like getting the locker rooms mixed up and sending the champagne to the wrong locker room.
To the wrong locker room.
For the NBA finals.
Like, what's this? Those NBA final shirts, Thomas. Thomas, know what I'm about to say. Check this out. The NBA final shirts. You remember the cartoon shirts they used to 90, 89, the Pistons, the Lakers, the Bulls.
Yeah.
Well, you know they made 2 shirts.
Yeah.
One of them was the losers. So somewhere in Africa, there's a kid walking around with a 1992 Portland Trailblazers championship shirt.
Stop.
And you're going down there and you're looking like,
Stop.
wait a minute. I was there when I was in the building when Michael Jordan bust the ass for all those 3-pointers. I know for a fact the Bulls won in 92. And you grab the kid and you're looking at the shirt like, no! I must be in a time warp. What is this? Where did you get this shirt? This didn't happen. You start calling your mom like, yo, wait a minute.
The Mandela
What's my name? What is going on here? But you know, these sports people, they have you messed up with the agendas that they're pushing. You'll be messed up. I'll give you another example. You ready for this? Pay attention to detail. I want you to tell me what's wrong with this picture.
What is this? Who did this? 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 What is this? Who did this?
See?
Hey, you need the one with the undefeated record for Lomachenko too.
Yo, Lomachenko really only has 1 loss. Undefeated. Y'all remember that? ESPN did that shit to us twice. I said, yo, was that a typo? No.
Divine, you were aware of that, right?
Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah. He's sitting there watching ringside. They show it up on the screen. Vasily Lomachenko undefeated. His record was like 13-0 or whatever.
Yeah.
What?
Man, I couldn't. Yo, I went to grab my phone to take a picture. I'm bumbling my phone. I said, yo, you saw that? Who saw that? We saw it.
Dude.
We saw it. Orlando Salido didn't happen. And then here's the funny part. You tell that to a hard body karate Lomachenko fan. You know what they tell you? Oh man, he'd have beat him in the rematch anyway. That's not the point.
Yep.
That's not the point.
There's a broken TV somewhere where Orlando Salido threw his beer can at the TV.
For real. That's why I love using that example. Somewhere in Africa, in the poor countries, there's a bunch of kids walking around with 1992 Portland Trailblazer championship shirts.
That's wild.
Unbelievable, man.
That's where they sent the shirts to the losers. It's like, what the fuck? What? Got me all the way messed up. But this is boxing. Oh, he don't need to run it back with Salido. He was winning the second half of the fight. He beat him in a rematch. This is where we at? Yo, listen, to this day, ask Tommy Hearns would he fight Sugar Ray Leonard right now. Ask him right now. Ask him right now. He'd start shadowboxing. Yeah, where he at? You know, we can only do body shots. Where we at? We can do it right now. I know that for a fact. That's who he is. We just
we just watched Tyson and Roy Jones.
We just had Vasily Giroff on here last week. We asked him about James Toney. He said, hey, you know, we can do it right now.
He sure did.
Yep.
These fighters today are just different.
They're different.
They're
Look at Shannon. Look at Shannon Briggs. Look at Shannon Briggs right now. Let's go, champ.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
He's
champ.
trying to fight everybody. He's like, I'll take on Rampage Jackson. I don't care. I'm 52 years old. I don't care. Let's go, champ.
Wants all the smoke. These guys want all the smoke. But I don't understand what's going on. And you know what? What's happening now? I'll bring it to oh shoot. That is hilarious. I'll say this. Watch this. Right now, if you, all right, you know what? Fuck, I ain't want to go off on a tangent because we'll be here for another hour, man. Let me say this. This era of boxing, right? For example, fuck it, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Teofimo Lopez has a fan base that I don't get now. I don't understand it now. All right, well, I get it, but I don't want to take the show in that direction. There's no saving this kid. There's no saving this kid. What he did was ridiculous. And now he's in a position where he has to perform because the people who he's doing business with wants a return on their investment. All right? I tore you down when you got the franchise status and said you're undisputed, but not to be outdone, Mauricio Suleiman justified that. All right? He justified that, but we know it's not true. You ducked Devin Haney, but then you put the F temporarily to Bob Arum and you went and got your money. So I said, yeah, well played. But you ain't out that contract. I hope you're ready. I was hoping he would have some money to say, all right, I'm going to buy my contract out from Bob Arum or whatever. But he didn't do that. And now they're like, yo, there's no way out of this Kambosos fight. You got to go perform. And you got to go do it in Australia. So the joke's on you, Jack. The joke's on you. But here's the thing. Everything that I just said is the absolute truth. But you have fans that enable his behavior. So I'm asking the fans, are y'all happy that he's not fighting Devin Haney? Why exactly? You see, when I support a fighter, I want him to leave no doubt that he's the man. I want him to clean out everything. Clean it all out. Clean it all out. Don't leave no doubt.
Canelo.
Thank you. Oh, but he got this belt and he got that belt. No. He was never undisputed in any division where he got those belts. That's the bottom line. There was a dispute there. I don't care if you feel he could beat Charlo. That's not the question. The question is, why didn't he just do it? Just do it. Do it so you can move on. This isn't no hate for Canelo due to his race, culture, or creed. I understand you're rooting for him because of his race, culture, or creed. I get it. This is boxing. I want the best to be the best at what they do. I didn't make them sign up for this. They chose to do this. And if you catch my eye, that's because you're a talent. And if I talk about you, you should be flattered that you're getting my attention. Now I want you to perform.
Why don't he just go fight Caleb Plant?
Go fight Caleb Plant. See, now that he pulled this move, now I think you think Caleb Plant gonna whoop your ass. Prove me wrong, Canelo. That's all I'm saying. Prove me wrong. Now that you've done this, T.O., I think you think that Devin will whoop your ass. Prove me wrong. Canelo, I think you think that Charlo, both of them, and Caleb Plant will whoop your ass. And you're going
Andre for that matter, too.
Andre, thank you. Now I think that you're trying to go up to 175. No, I'm sorry. You're not going to 175 for Bivol. Bivol was rumored to be going down to 168. Something that I don't like. But you're not going up there to get better Beterbiev. Why? Because I think you know he'll whoop your ass. So we got Andre, we got Beterbiev, we got both Charlos, and we got Caleb Plant. You got some work to do. I don't want to hear nothing about capturing titles and whatever and who deserves what. Not when you ran around and you played beat a Brit all year long. So none of these guys, what did Charlo do to deserve a fight against against Canelo? The same thing that Liam Calum did. The same thing that Smith did. Stop playing with us, man. I think
and Henry Armstrong won his multiple titles when there was 8 divisions. Okay,
and never vacated.
And there was one belt. There wasn't all these other sanctioning bodies where you could get the lowest status champion to defeat to make sure that you were a multi-division champion. No, you had to go in there against the likes of Sugar Ray Robinson and Armstrong himself, Willie Pep, and all those guys. You had to go in there against real champions. You didn't get a chance to pick and choose guys who would be contenders today and not champions.
Did Hammer and Hank ever vacate to go defend another or fight for another, or did he hold on to the titles?
He held on to the belts. He was the champion at multiple divisions at the same time.
Thank you. So what are we talking about here? Why can't you be undisputed at 140 and then go venture in at 147 and see how you make out? Why do they have to invent a status for you to carry up through all these divisions? You don't need that. Why didn't Bud become undisputed and say, I'm going to hold that and I'm going to go see what I can do at 147, but I'm still here at 140 because that's how great I am. Why ain't nobody doing that? The game is this is not the sport that I remember.
Yep.
And listen, I'll say this, and you could take it for what it's worth. He even offered like, oh, I'll be interested in Earl Spence, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't say he'd be interested in Bud Crawford.
Sure didn't. Sure didn't.
And to Stormy's point, talking about Henry Armstrong, you look at like Willie Pep is my all-time favorite fighter. And when you look at Willie Pep, right, I mean, he's arguably one of the best fighters in his division, right, with the record he had. But he had one problem, and that was Sandy Sadler. And he just couldn't get Sandy Sadler out of the way. And see, that's what happens when you stay in your division. You try to be the best, and you have to go. You're going to meet someone. You're going to meet someone who's gonna break the code. And Sandy Sadler was that man, and nobody can touch Willie Pep.
And one fight doesn't do it for you. You have to fight multiple times, at least a minimum of twice, right?
Now watch this.
You can't just get one victory over a guy and be like, yeah, I'm the best. No, guy gonna be like a real true-hearted champion type fighter is gonna be, hey, let's run that back. You caught me on a bad night. You know, my woman broke up with me. You know what I'm saying? I ate something funny or whatever. But I want you again. You understand? That's the way the real guys do it.
Did that taint Willie Pep's career? Absolutely not.
Not at all. Not at all.
Not at all.
How many times?
It etched them in history. Their two names are synonymous, just like Ali and Frazier. We just did a Three Wise Men of Boxing talking about the great fighters of the past, and that fight was mentioned with those two wonderful fighters, Sandy Sadler and Willie Pep. We just did that this past Thursday.
Both fought Holyfield 3 times. Holyfield fought Lewis twice. Okay? Holyfield fought Dwight Muhammad Qawi how many times?
Twice.
Holyfield got to be one of the best fighters like of all time.
He's one of the best fighters of his generation. That's for damn sure.
Ain't nobody touching him. This is ridiculous. Roy Jones fought Antonio Tarver 3 times. He needed to be sure. I need to make sure this guy's better than me.
And shout out to Manny Pacquiao, man. He fought Marquez
4 times.
4 times. He fought Barrera.
Twice.
Fought Morales.
Twice. Yep.
Yeah. I got my problems with Manny, but looking at the record, it is what it is.
Barrera.
It is what it is. Barrera.
But he
Morales.
did it, though. He did it.
He did it.
Yeah.
Salute to my brother Thomas. He said it's a travesty.
And that's why they're considered great, because they were willing to put it on the line.
They put it all on the line. My brother Thomas says it's a travesty that Saunders got the fight with Canelo when Saunders popped Dirty versus Andrade and Canelo won't fight Andrade. It's a joke. You see? But nobody wants to talk about this.
And question to both of you guys. How'd you guys feel when Canelo disrespected Andrade like that in his post-fight? You guys saw that, right? When Andrade tried to call him out?
I mean, look.
Oh, yeah.
Here's what it is.
That was a travesty for him to try to embarrass. But what was even worse is you're doing it in a room full of journalists and everything who are not upholding the integrity of the sport by holding Canelo to task and say, hey, this man is a champion. And he was there in 2 different divisions where you were, and you seem to vacate each time the conversation might come up about you facing him. You say right now he's nobody. You've been fighting nobodies from the UK. Why don't you fight this guy and show us that he's nobody?
Instead, it's become a meme. It's become a soundbite. It was funny, but I said, putting all the jokes aside, there should have been a journalist there that would have been like, that should have been like, hold on. This guy's been here. And instead of fighting him, you just whacked around a guy that everyone likes to say, what did Andre Drake do to deserve a fight against Canelo? Oh, well, he had a problem with this guy, so Canelo washes him. That's not the question. You want to talk about who deserves what against Canelo? Did Billy Joe Saunders really deserve a night against Canelo? He didn't deserve any goddamn thing. In fact, I was just I like how the night ended. Beautiful night. I like how it ended. And by the way, Billy Ho made some news the other day. I'll talk about that maybe tomorrow, but he made some news the other day. I like how things happen in the UK and no one talks about it here. No one talks about it here, but he made the news the other day. I'll talk about it. See, the family always bringing me stuff and they sending me stuff on social media. I really shout out to y'all. But you see, Canelo's feet need to be held to the flames. And this is what we're talking about here. Tyson Fury, Canelo Alvarez. But when Floyd was on top of the game, y'all was digging. And he should fight this guy. He should fight that. He should go heavyweight. He should do this. And he should fight Kovalev. He should fight Golovkin. And he should do this. And y'all wanted him to fight Jesus Christ himself. Y'all wanted him to fight like 9 times a year. And man, this is how silly people are. I remember I was at work. And this dude was like, well, Floyd is overrated. Fine. Well, everybody in the 80s and 70s will beat him. Fine. I mean, I can't deny or confirm that because he's not fighting anybody from the 70s or 80s. Then the guy says, well, you know, he wouldn't beat anybody like Tommy Hearns or Sugar Ray. And Marvin Hagler will whoop his ass. Stop. I said, no, he wouldn't. Oh, see, you think Floyd beat everybody. I said, no, Marvin Hagler would not whip Floyd Mayweather's ass. There's no way that fight even takes place. Because he duck him. No, because Marvin Hagler is a middleweight, stupid. He fights at 160, dummy. You're disqualified, Kevin. Recruit, do you tap dance? Drop, give me 20. Out of my face, disqualified. I'm sorry. This is why you don't talk to casuals. Marvin Hagler and Floyd Mayweather would have never fought. He would have asked Marvin to come down to like 154, 155. Marvin would have said no, and there wouldn't have been no fight. That's how it would have played out. That's how it's done. In my Stephen A. Snitch voice.
I'll throw a name at you that give Floyd trouble from that era, and people wouldn't even think about it. Wilfredo Benitez.
Oh, come on. Hell yeah. Stop
Facts.
it. Floyd would have had all kinds of problems in that era.
There you go. It's like, it's not hard when you know who the fighters are. It's like, dude, people exist within a tunnel vision locked box.
Yeah.
You know? And the worst part about it, people nowadays don't research for themselves.
They don't.
They'll hear something and then they'll go, oh, that's it? Oh, okay. And they'll take that as the gospel.
I swear, God, I hate boxing because it treats us like battered women because we come back every day for more. But I love this sport. I can't defend it sometimes. You know, I'm trying to explain this
why can't people just be fans of the sport? You know, like we all have our favorite fighters, granted, right? But then you got fanatics. Right? You guys remember back in the day, pack tards, Flomos, that battle. It's like going to war every day. I put on my suit and armor, put on my helmet every day. I go on YouTube, right? Because you can never be right. Someone's gonna hate you, and they're gonna hate you to the fullest extent, right? I'd come out. I always said, look, I like Floyd, man. Like, if you don't like him outside of the ring, that's fine. But you cannot refute the man's abilities.
Can't.
And I always came out and said, Manny Pacquiao is a Hall of Fame fighter. When it's all said and done, this fight here with Earl Spence, I mean, he's going to be a Hall of Famer regardless, even if he gets knocked out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But as soon as I say Floyd beat Manny, you don't know boxing. You crazy. Manny Pacquiao's the greatest of all time. And Floyd was running. Floyd don't fight toe-to-toe.
Okay.
Well, hold up. Wait, you saying I don't know boxing? Well, last time I checked, the art of boxing is to hit and not get hit. That's what I was taught.
You know what? If you say one thing that Manny does right, the Flomos want to kill you. If you say one thing that Floyd does wrong, the Pac-Tards love you, but then you say something that Manny does wrong with the 1-2 and jumping in and leading with his head, then the Pac-Tards want to kill you. The reality is I want to kill everybody equally. This place was the wild, wild west. And I used to watch your channel, Divine Sense. I used to watch your channel and just read the cut. Because y'all understand, this live stream shit is still new.
Yep.
It wasn't like this a few years ago. And I used to be like reading your chats, like, oh my God. Like, what is going on? Who are these people? Well, now everybody has a YouTube channel. Everybody has a live stream. And it's the crazies amongst the crazies. And just because you're articulate, that don't mean you know what you're talking about. I can tell you in such an articulate manner that I have prepared the perfect dish. And when I serve it to you, it could be a plate of rice, broccoli with butter, and your protein will be a slab of doo-doo on the side. You still eating that? Come on, man.
And I want to say, too, for other channels out here, I won't mention any names, but stay true to your convictions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
None of this flip-flopping, let me talk about this so I can, like, get some clicks or what have it. No, be real. Like, I was always a big David Lemieux fan when David Lemieux was coming up.
Right.
I was like, oh, he's nice. Knocking people out. I like his style, right? Little got a little bit of Mike Tyson in him. And then I was riding with him all the way. I thought he might be the next middleweight. Then what happens? He loses to Marco Antonio Rubio. Right? And then I was like, okay, he can bounce back. And then he got his ass handed to him to Triple G. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But then I said, you know what? I'm still a fan. I still like David Lemieux.
Right.
I stick to it. I said, well, I'm always gonna support the kid, man. And so that's what I mean. It's like it's hard to be transparent and unbiased when it comes on the YTBC or what have you, because, like you said, you're always gonna you can never please everybody.
Can't.
And see, you're smart, Drew, because you moderate your chat. You got to be subscribed to the channel. I might adopt that philosophy.
You should.
But I have a blessing and a curse. Like, I'm good at debating, and that's a bless. I'm blessed to be able to debate and talk about boxing, but at the same time, it's a curse because sometimes I can't help myself. I see trolls. I'm like, I got to go at you. I got to go at you.
I know. You know, with me, I've watched it enough. I've been on YouTube for the better part of a decade. I've seen everything. I've just been real quiet. And what tore it for me was the Eddie Hearn situation. And I said, you know what? I can't be quiet about this anymore. I can't. And I started talking about it. And I was dealing with the health and wellness, but I love boxing so much. And I'm going to get back to my health and wellness, but I love boxing so much. And when you see something wrong, you have to speak up on it. And that's when I just started just speaking up on it. And then the Canelo things. And then, you know, I was done with the Floyd Mayweather. I was hoping that when Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao got done, boxing would go back to normal. But wishful thinking, there's always another situation waiting in the rear. And it's a horrible, horrible, horrible thing. And I for one, can't stand it. I, for one, can't stand it, man. You know, but things must be said. And if you leave it unsaid, people will take it as gospel. There's no way you can tell me that what Canelo's doing, what he's done. Did you see those last the last freaking demands he had? I mean, that was ridiculous. I thought that it would never get any more silly than the demands that that Manny Pacquiao had for Floyd Mayweather. He wanted his choice in ring size, glove size, venue. The funniest one was he wanted $10 million for every pound Floyd came in overweight.
I remember that.
And then Floyd said, okay, and there's something else I'm forgetting in between. He said, okay, all I want is one thing. What's that? Olympic style drug testing. And that's where the circus began. 5 years of that.
Yep.
And then at the very end, when the fight was finally signed, Freddie Roach says, yeah, you know, we could have had the fight, 5 years ago, but we couldn't agree on the drug testing. I said, thank you. 5 years. That's all we were saying. 5 years I've been called the N-word. I've been called the Flomo, which is code for the N-word.
Mm-hmm.
All kinds of stuff. And all I was asking is, wait a minute. If he's clean, why can't he just take Olympic style drug testing? Oh, well, Manny's scared of needles. He has tattoos. Well, Manny, he has a condition where he don't like the sight of blood. Did you see what he did to David Diaz? I don't think it's that. Why are you guys capping for this dude?
Mm.
And
but his shoulder was hurt. He hurt his shoulder. Was hurt,
and salt water and rice healed him.
Yeah.
So these are the things. These are the things that we question, and then we're called the haters. Salute to Calvin Lincoln. He said, Drew, your take on a possible Hagler Mayweather take it spot on, just like the light heavyweight Michael Spinks versus Hagler could have never happened. There were talks, but the reality was Spinks was too big. Oh, man, that was being spoken about back in the day. I didn't know that. That was crazy. Yeah, but Spinks was super bigger. Man,
what I find ironic is after that Pacquiao Mayweather fight, everyone said, yo, Pacquiao, he wasn't in his prime. Mayweather waited too long to fight him, even though Mayweather's 2 years older.
Thank you.
And also, isn't Manny Pacquiao about to fight Earl Spence?
He sure is.
Oh, he ain't. Oh, he must not be too old then.
Yeah. Did he not beat up Keith Thurman? Dropped him in the first. I mean, the fight was close, but he dropped him in the first.
Yeah.
He fought the fountain of youth in that fight, and I don't think he had real drug testing in that fight. But that's neither here nor there.
Mm-hmm.
But these are the things we ask. These are the questions we ask, man. Shout out to Alfred Yashahara. That's my brother right there. He says, yo, you should, Divine Sense. In fact, I'm going to subscribe to you right after this fight.
I appreciate you, Alfred.
Man. Yeah, adapt that style of monitoring how you of who is in your chat.
You got to go through you got to go through YouTube, or is that done on StreamYard?
Yeah. When we end this stream, I'm gonna show you how to do it. I'll show you exactly how to do it. With that being said,
and by the way, I just wanted to say while we're here live on the air, Divine Sense, I've subscribed to your channel, bro.
I'll do the same, 100%.
Absolutely. So
I like the background too. By the way, I feel like I want to get in there.
Man, that background is nice, man.
Yeah,
that background is nice.
I want to lace it up right now and do a little workout.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So Divine Sense, let everyone know how they can find you.
Yeah, man. Divinesenseboxing. Divine Sense is my original name, but I've renamed my new channel to Divine Sense Reborn. So you just put that in there, Divine Sense Reborn, and yeah, man. I'm always happy to have you guys a part of this small, and to me, it's a small little community, small knit community of real boxing fans who keep it real, authentic, uncut. And we're a small voice, but we're a powerful voice. And that's what I told Drew, is that we gotta collab, because we're the minority. Like, real talk, we are the minority. Like, we talk about things that people don't want to hear. We bring facts that people don't want to hear. So we got to do what we do. And so, yeah, like, coming to the live streams. And I want to say this too, on behalf of Drew Titan, man, every super chat, everybody that joins as a member to the channel goes a long way. It continues to motivate us. It continues to help us brew that coffee in the morning and go on the internet and look at events and talk about it. And you know, we put a lot of work and effort into this, and it's you guys who continue to uplift us and support us. And we stretch every dollar. And to be honest, I told my subscribers, Drew, the only reason why this collab happened was because I asked my subscribers, yo, so who should I collab with? Because you mentioned earlier, the live stream shit is new. This is new. Back in the day, if you wanted to collab with somebody, you would have to do a video response.
Yeah.
You would have to contact people directly. And I like doing that. Back in the day, I loved doing that. And back when the LDBC first started, it was all about debates. 78 would bring people on and say, all right, Mayweather fan, Pacquiao fan, let's go. 5 minutes, 5 rounds. And I like that stuff. You know, that's barbershop, backyard barbecue talk, you know. But so I asked my subscribers, who should I hit up? And a lot of them said, yo, you got to hit up Drew, got to hit up Drew. And because the super chats kept coming, you got to hit up Drew, super chat. I was like, all right. So that's why this happened. Because you guys motivate me to go over there, find out who Drew is, love this channel, subscribed, put a little comment in, and the rest is history. And the next time, Drew will come over to Divine Sense Reborn, and we'll keep it moving.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Yo, listen, man, it's just boxing talk. And the reason why I enable my chat the way I've done, you know, I'm not going to get into how that even came how that came to fruition. But I'll say this: documentation beats conversation. And I'd rather discuss boxing, whether we agree or disagree, than to be dealing with trolls in the chat trying to disrupt and enable nonsense, rather than us focusing on the actual content and conversation at hand. Because that's what we do here. I don't entertain nonsense, you know. Stormy, the sensei, let everyone know how they can find you, brother.
Everybody can find me right here on YouTube. My channel is Stormy B Man. We, of course, on Tuesdays, we got the Tuesday Tussle, 8 p.m. Central. On Thursdays, we got the Three Wise Men of Boxing with myself, Kurt Sugar, and Scrapbook Boxing, 8 p.m. Central. And on Friday nights, we got the Friday Night Chop Session with Stormy B Man. And I collab with Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens for that. And we do post-fight shows on Friday and Saturday nights when we have the fights. So, and of course, now Sundays we got the call-in show. So we cooking over here.
Dope. I love that show.
And just like Divine Sense just said a moment ago, I explained this morning on that call-in show how much it means when people show that support and everything, and how it inspires you to want to do more and more and more. This call-in thing, today, Divine, I just did my 3rd call-in show today. It's on Sundays at 10:30 a.m. Central, and the motivation behind that was to give myself more access to my followers and subscribers and the people who join the channel, because I'm trying to provide them the best of content that I can, you know, from the perspective of how I do it. So that motivates me tremendously. So that's why I've done it, you know, that way. So, but that's what's happening with my channel.
That's what it is, man. And we're always hitting the ground running. I'm reading articles. I'm getting updates from people all around the world on like people that, yo, I actually just saw such and such in the airport. I'm in the airport. I just took a picture with him and he's not doing this. I'm getting calls like that. I'm getting video shots like that. And I present to you the news in real time. You know what I mean? So that's what we're doing here. So we're not just taking money and ishing it away, man. I'm buying new mics. I'm buying new cameras. I'm gonna start going when this thing opens up. I'm gonna start going to the fights, and I might start talking to the fighters. You know, I ain't gonna be running behind no fighter like that because I'm not built that way. But if I'm gonna go to the fights and I'll do a live stream from the fight, you know. But that's what it is, man. So y'all know what it is, man. Bronx on deck. Fellas, stand by before after I leave the stream. Just stand by. The fight party's on. Y'all go hit up Trill right now. Y'all know what it is. Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Divine Sense, Stormy B Man. know what I mean? I'm
Hey,
see y'all
Drew.
tomorrow. Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Drew, real quick. Yeah, real quick. I was just thinking maybe we can do some type of like fight watch party for Pacquiao Spence. Go live or something.
Yeah,
Do some live.
Yeah,
We
let's
can do
talk
some
about
live commentating.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Stand by. All right,
All
so y'all go hit up Trail, and I'll see y'all in the morning. Bronx on deck.
Move!